Today I'm going to replace the battery in my early 2011 15-inch MacBook Pro, which, as you can see, is connected to power because unplugged the battery only lasts for a handful of minutes. So today we're going to be installing this Newertech NuPower Battery for early 2011 to mid 2012 MacBook Pros, which will hopefully give this machine a new lease on life. You know, one of the things I really love about MacSales.com and the Newertech brand in particular is that they really give you a comprehensive solution. Everything is in this box that we need to upgrade the battery in this early 2011 MacBook Pro. We have the battery in here, they give us instructions, and what I think is really awesome is they give you all the tools that you need to complete the installation. Side, they give you an overview of the steps needed to install your replacement battery. They give you the actual brand new battery itself. So here it is. And again, they give you the tools that you need. A Phillips 00 screwdriver, as well as a tri-point Y0 screwdriver. It's also worth mentioning that anytime you're going to be working on a laptop, especially if you're not working on a soft surface, is to put some sort of mat, maybe an old towel. I like to use this neoprene mat. So let's go ahead and begin replacing the battery in this early 2011 MacBook Pro. So once we've removed all 10 screws from the bottom of the MacBook Pro, simply take two hands and gently pop off the bottom cover of the laptop. And there's the inside of the MacBook Pro. It's also a good time when you have your computer disassembled to consider dusting off the inside. This one's in pretty good shape, so I don't think that's necessary at this time. Here's the old battery, and this is actually not the original. This was a replacement battery that was purchased off of eBay that did not work out too well, so we're going with what I should have done in the first place, the better quality Newertech battery from MacSales.com, OWC, and will complement nicely the OWC SSD drive that's inside of this MacBook Pro. So let's go ahead and remove the old battery. Removing here, attaching the battery, are actually a Y screw. So again, the Newertech is kind enough to give you the necessary screwdriver. We're going to go ahead and disconnect the battery power connector from the logic board. Find a plastic spludger is very helpful here. We're just going to gently pry up from each end of the connector. And there it is, disconnected. And with that removed, simply pull up, and out is the original battery. Set that aside. Here's our brand new Newertech battery, and it's worth mentioning from a quality standpoint, this battery is significantly heavier than the old battery. And so definitely a better quality unit, and should definitely get some additional battery life out of this compared to even the OEM battery that shipped with this machine from Apple. So battery's back installed in the computer. Going to connect the power connector. There we go. And remaining step is to reinsert these Y-head screws. These are a little tricky. Not really sure why they went with this design. Would have been happier if they stuck with a regular Phillips, but we'll get them back in here. With the battery firmly in place, after reattaching the 3 Y screws, we can proceed with reattaching the bottom of the MacBook Pro using the 10 Phillips head screws. As I'm working on reattaching the bottom of the MacBook Pro, I like to make sure that anytime I'm reinserting screws on a laptop like this to use a crisscross kind of star pattern, putting these screws back in. It's worth pointing out that the upper right-hand corner, that upper back corner of the MacBook Pro, those 3 screws there are longer in length than the other 7 screws. And there we have the bottom of the MacBook Pro reassembled. In comparison to previous Apple laptops, such as PowerBook G4s, PowerBook G3s for that matter, these newer Intel MacBook Pros typically feature an integrated battery. So the battery is actually located right inside of the case itself. So, you know, it's not a super complicated upgrade. It should take us about 15 to 20 minutes. But in comparison, look how easy it is to replace the battery in a PowerBook G4. So here's my 2005 PowerBook G4. Here it is. All I have to do to replace the battery, flip it over, take a small coin, always find a quarter works pretty nicely, and you can simply lift the old battery out. And then if we had a new battery, all we do, drop it in. It's that easy, the battery is replaced. Let's go ahead and boot up the MacBook Pro and see if the new battery is working. There we have the reassuring Mac boot up chime, and it's loading. It's alive. Let's go ahead and take a look at the system settings in System Profiler and verify that we have our new Newertech battery installed. All that's left to do now is to properly calibrate the battery. There are great instructions from Newertech on their website, and I'll provide a link to that in the description for this video. But we're essentially going to charge the battery up to 100%, allow it to remain charged for an additional 2 hours, and then go ahead and turn the computer on, allow it to drain the battery entirely, and at that point go ahead and recharge the battery to 100%, and then it will be ready for use. And that brings us to the conclusion of this video. Thank you for watching. Please hit the like button, consider subscribing to the channel, and hit the alert button so you're notified when new videos are uploaded.